And we are back from the break. And as the trip through the phlogiston begins to proceed, there was first a question from Solas. You had a question about the fabricate spell?
Yes. It says that you can work with minerals. Can you make basically use the spell to make minerals straight to bars, metal bars,
I need to look at it. I think so. I mean, I think you can make basic
without needing any proficiency? Since a high degree of craftsmanship would require proficiencies, but I was thinking if making a mineral to bars would require.
So, like, you mean like ingots,
Yeah,
or
ingots.
just um?
Ingots.
I mean, they're not going to be like perfect ingots in the way that
Yeah.
other places would, because those tend to be cast.
Mm-hmm.
But you could make
Yeah.
a block. Yeah.
Okay. Also, can I use scrap metal to basically make these ingots?
Um.
You remember when Braxon used to pick up every knick-knack? I can see Solas doing the same thing.
Only with something that is valuable.
Solas does that with books.
So like
Well,
you're
books are
thinking
valuable.
of like melted gold, turning it into a block of gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose so.
Or broken silverware into a block of silver.
I guess so. At the same time, like I'm gonna give you the same price no matter what,
Yeah.
and it's gonna weigh the
Yeah,
same.
but it's easier to transport.
I'm not going to give you a I mean, like I don't usually restrict you on that. But yeah, I mean, I guess theoretically, yes, you could.
Yeah.
I suppose it's
Thank
more for imagination.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of the spell is to make something that you need, like, like in the description, we, traveling through a forest, come to a chasm, make a bridge across it with the materials at hand.
If you do get scrap silver, you could always make silver sling bullets in case anyone that uses a sling comes up against a werewolf.
I think if anybody using a sling goes up against a werewolf, they got bigger problems.
Well, but if they're alone, yeah, but that could definitely be a useful ability for like crew members or something like that.
True.
Yeah.
Silver arrowheads.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if
you're
Jeff Crewman, you said we're going to give you a
arrowheads. Arrowheads would require a skill.
Yeah. I don't know if Braxton's got molds for making arrowheads.
You probably would, because you
Yeah,
have
if
you have
you're a
Bowyer
Fletcher,
Fletcher.
you would.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like you would have a couple around even if you don't use them much, just as an in case thing.
Would Braxton be able to buy like big things to make ballista bolts, or is that a different skill? I don't need an answer now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that that would need specialized materials, but I think you could do that because the principle is similar.
Yeah, because I don't know if that ties into weaponeer stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, and I've never really thought about it. I mean,
okay.
At the same time, like I'm at the point you are now, you're getting enough money that I don't really care about tracking that stuff too much unless it's like really important. So
unless it's just a situation where we can't restock regularly.
Yeah. Okay. But getting the trip underway, Darrakar, you were asking about something and went to Solas. Why don't you mention that to Solas and see what he thinks of it?
On a quest searching for the maze of Keftos, it is a coming of age trial for the Minotaur people as a whole.
That isn't something that I'm familiar, but do tell me more.
Well, as far as I've been told, Keftos was the first of our kind, and they built the maze initially as a settlement for our people, but it eventually became a ruin where the strongest of us were sent to test our skills.
Interesting. And you're saying that the quest is to find it and test your
Find
skills
it
there.
and survive it. Yes.
Do you know if anyone has found it recently?
Not to my knowledge. I got the information from an oracle in Great Space. Her name was Nisa.
Ah, well, that is quite interesting goal you have. I will once we are out of the phlogiston, I would be willing to consult my deity about it,
Thank you.
or rather, my deity's servants. I doubt my deity would answer to someone lowly as me yet.
You would still refer, like, your deity servants are an extension of the deity, so
Yeah.
when the servants respond, and there's no way to tell with most communes whether you're getting the deity or the servant, so.
Yeah. But I would be interested in, since that is quite an interesting tale.
So,
And
Darrakar, what you would specifically know is obviously your lineage is from Krynnish Minotaurs. So these are actually other Minotaurs.
Yes.
And it's from at this point, you're assuming a distant crystal sphere, not one that you are familiar with, but one that has Minotaurs. So that's kind of what you're going on. But it's you are wanting to get more in touch with a more Minotaur based like culture and aesthetic than you've been exposed to before, kind of thing. All right, so that is definitely something of interest.
And I think I will also consult the Seekers if they know anything about this place.
Okay.
They should have at least some knowledge.
They may. It may take time to get it. Like any given Seeker outpost may not know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, with Seekers I'm most likely going to have to go back to Brawl.
And
though I could use sending to ask my master to put in the consultation for me.
You would probably need to give them more information than.
True.
Yeah, like Darrakar is giving you more information than what Cape Sword just did, just because there's stuff that hasn't been.
Well,
I haven't figured out as Dungeon Master yet, so.
Well, then I could use the dream spell.
This is going to be something that you need to do in person.
Okay.
AKA, so the Dungeon Master has time to develop things. Lankas, so you would also have looked through, some of the spell books. Is there, I guess, like working with Solas, is there anything in particular that you're interested in?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I have a lot of first level spells that I was interested in.
I mean, you do have a lot of first level spells, and I think you're at a point where you need to actually do research to get more into your spell book.
Yes.
For first level.
Yeah, for first level.
Well, I did because when I changed to Tinker Gnome, it gave me a slight more boost to intelligence.
Oh.
Dexterity, but then I switched some stats around. So this was so I actually have 14 number of spells that I can learn.
Oh, okay.
Rather than 11.
Well, I guess Solas, are there any less common illusionist spells in your in the spell books that you think might be of interest?
There might be some. I need to check which are illusion spells specifically. But yeah, there should be few. Do you have Do you have any interest in second level spells?
I can't learn them yet. I'm only a second level illusionist.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I didn't know if
it
was like the 14 spells is total or just for each level.
That is for each level, and you can, once you get to that number, you have to do spell research to exceed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can have more, but you have to research them.
Yeah.
Not just learn them.
So, like, if you had 14 second level spells, but you didn't have invisibility yet, and you come across a spellbook with invisibility, you can't just learn it, you have to research it.
Okay. Okay, so basically I still have to like find something that can help me learn it, but I can learn it basically instantly if I'm below that 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you gain a new spell level, so when you get third, fifth, seventh, etc., you will get a free spell of your specialist school.
Okay.
That is automatic, and basically the idea is that you're always thinking about magic, and something just gels when you gain that spell level, and that is specifically so that you always have a spell that you can memorize.
Got it. Okay.
And then, otherwise, you need to find spell books to study. Otherwise, you need to do spell research.
Okay.
And, like, I mean, you don't need to, decide it now.
Yeah.
The Solas can send you the the lists of first level spells that are in the spell books that you guys have found over the years.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can decide if you want any of them.
Yeah. And do also pay attention to the spells that are not just illusion phantasm, since other spell schools also have useful stuff.
I know. I can only learn because of I picked the Imagemaker. It restricted me even more, so I basically can only learn from 3 schools.
Yeah.
Which are the schools, if you don't mind saying?
Hold on, let me go to the spells page on my sheet. It is Alteration, Enchantment, Charm, and Illusion.
And then, of course, Universal.
Yes, and Universal.
Well, we do have plenty of spells in those schools.
Hypnotism's a first level spell we've got a spell of.
Yeah, it's an enchantment charm.
But, actually, yeah, I should learn. I don't think I have any. Well, I actually think I have 1 enchantment spell. So
do you have any alteration spells?
Well,
how about a few? Yes.
How about this? Send Solas, send Lankas the list, or some of the spells.
We have a
like
tab
that.
on the player thing.
Oh, well, there you go.
I need to update it, but there's most of them are there.
So you can like take a look at that. Now, Lankas, you wanted to spend at least 1 day a week on the helm just to, keep your skills up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not too concerned about like when in the rotation that happens. So I may just like roll a random check to see if during a random encounter whether you're on the helm or not.
Okay.
At least for now.
Mm-hmm.
So the journey kind of proceeds mostly uneventfully so far. Let's see. Yeah, Finn, you already deducted the pay that's going to come out during this time, so that's fine. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Braxon, give me a few... I want you to do a few navigation checks, and that is going to be...
Okay.
4, please.
4 navigation checks.
Yep.
Right. Oh. Oh.
All right.
2 really good ones and 2 really bad ones in the middle.
So give me 2 rolls of 2d2, please. It's a wash. It is a wash.
I didn't hear the 2d2s.
There is no d2.
Basically
right.
coin.
Yeah, it's a coin. Either that, or you roll a d4 or a d6 or a d8 or any other.
Can't they animate a coin?
I'm sorry?
Can't they animate a coin?
They could. They could also just animate a d6 that has only 1s and 2s on it, but they don't. So, all right. So that is actually a wash. You lose some time, but you are able to make it up through.
Hooray! I saved 3 days. Oh dear, I lost 3 days.
So
it just means you're doing average.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
so basically 2 days Braxon was holding the spyglass backwards.
No.
Braxon isn't that stupid.
You just make some like you end up not taking the best line through the Blunderstone Rivers a little bit.
Yeah.
So during the travel, you guys will start getting used to the new characters' skills. So Darrakar, go ahead and describe your skills a little bit in your own terms, so that the other players know, what Darrakar is good at.
Well, I've already said that I know spacemanship and zero gravity combat.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from those skills, I've also been trained as a weaponsmith and how to slow down my respiration in situations where air might be a concern.
Nice.
And during the sparring, what weapons do you favor using in combat?
In sparring, I practice with the halberd mainly. Although one that is blunted to not kill anybody.
Right, but this is just more so that the other characters know what you're good at using. Well, all weapon-wise, kind of thing. Because like sparring will also include target practice and using other weapons and things like that too.
Oh, I would practice with the crossbow as well.
How good is he with the halberd?
Oh, he's good.
So when he's fighting against Braxon, does Braxon find him inspirational?
Go away.
I have more swings with the halberd than I do with the scimitar. I use that more like a knife.
I don't know, Anghammarand. I'm not sure if I can accept that one. I think that's going to go to me rather than Braxon. Sorry, because I had to suffer through it. I had to suffer through it. Everyone else has to find their own heckle bit.
Well,
there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's fair. I appreciate that. A reroll for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so Darrakar, you're good with halberds, crossbows, and scimitars.
Weapon-wise, yes.
Okay, excellent. So the
less good with the crossbow.
That's fine. I mean, it's more just role playing out what what proficiencies you have, what weapons you favor using, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lankas, during your sparring matches, what do you favor using?
If it's I mean, if I'm able just to like practice against dummies or something or targets, then I tend to do my sling, and then but if it's with someone, then I'll use a dagger.
Okay. All right, and Anghammarand is giving each of our new players a reroll. So one for Darrakar and one for Lankas.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, so that is 2 for each of you right now.
And you said we was a month in the Flodgerson?
Yes.
Okay, so at some point in the month, Braxon would have called an all-stop on the ship and would have flew around on the fly to check for any defects.
All right. Give me a ship carpentry roll, please.
Okay. Probably banging on bits of the ship with a mallet. Okay. Especially after we had that infestation.
There is something off on the hull. You did this about like halfway through?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so there is definitely something off on the hull. Give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay. Come on, button. Oh, hang on. That one's supposed to work with a picture of me, and there's no picture of me, so let's just roll a d20. What do I need? Target's 14, so that's bang on the nose.
So, yeah, there are 3 unusual lumps on the outer hull on the underside that is like it's the same color as the paint on the ship.
Yeah.
And you almost didn't notice it.
Yeah. Okay. Braxton's gonna mark around them roughly with whatever he's got on him. If he doesn't have anything on him, like a pencil,
You'd almost certainly, if you're doing something like that, you'd probably have chalk.
Yeah. So he'll mark around them, and then he'll let the other people on shift know, and go have a chat with the carpenters. and ask them if either of them have heard of anything like that before.
Okay, so as you approach them to do that, one of these lumps opens up, and a soft, gross-looking creature comes out, and there is a let's see, let me check something. Give me a second. Yeah, three magic missiles streak out and slam into you.
Lovely.
Where's my other die? There's my other die. There it is. Nine total points of damage.
Okay. That's not much for Braxon. But he's gonna... Let's go down to
9 days of rest if you don't get healed.
60. 67. No. 69. Right. Braxon's gonna fly off back and tell people, because like he's prepared to take these things on, but like he could get killed without anyone knowing about it.
I could just shapewood them off.
So
just shave that section of the ship off.
Give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay. Well,
okay.
That's pass.
So, you realize that given what you saw and what came out and what it did, you have heard stories of these before from other ship captains and other crew and things like that. These are jammer leeches. They drain magic from the helm.
Right.
And including spells from spellcasters who've been on the helm.
Right. Oh, even if they got off the helm?
Yeah.
Okay, so Braxon, when he gets back, will say, we got jammer leeches on the hull. He'll pass the message down to the helm. Okay, we need to work out to get rid of these.
Yeah, we do.
He'll have a huddle with who's awake. Who's on second shift?
I'm awake. I'm with you.
Which shift were we put on again? I should mark that down.
Yeah, you're on
you two were on second shift.
Yeah, new players are on second shift. Anyone got an experience of dealing with jammer leeches? Otherwise, we'll just go and whack them.
My first thought is to give them a few hard whacks with a halberd.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lankas and Darrakar, you have not encountered them before.
Okay. Well, they're on the hull, so they're a little bit hard to get to. We're staying stationary, so I guess I'll just go back and clobber one of them. Are they all close enough together that they can defend each other?
Yes.
Well, that makes it a bit harder. Is it possible for people like Lafdul to stand anywhere on the ship and send magic missiles at them? Oh, he can't do magic missiles.
No, I'm not that kind of person. I can see if I can dislodge them with a shapewood. Just like shave off. You'll have to replace the planks because the nature of shapewood.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll just see if I can shave them off like an outer layer so they got nothing to attach to.
So you either need to approach them to do that and touch the wood right by them, or you need to do it from...
blow dust over the area.
Right, so you either need to do it from inside and like shape the wood away from it so that you just like push it off and it falls out. But that's going to be like the entire section of the outer hull.
Well,
which is
I
basically what you're going to be
us...
doing anyway. Like you're losing those planks if you're doing that. Like you can't make them thinner, kind of thing.
Oh, just wake up one of the spellcasters. I'll magic missile it. Wake Solas up.
Correct me on my knowledge of how physics works in this, but can we walk down to where they are?
Yeah, they're on the underside of the hull, which is reverse gravity, so you would be walking on the outside as if it was like a roof.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't got an idea.
Actually, I'll see if I can yank one off with my levitation ring.
Okay.
It's got a weight of 50 it can pull up to.
Okay. So you go out on the hull and trying to stay as far away as possible, kind of thing, I assume.
Yeah, I got like a range of like 120 yards.
Actually,
feet.
I could try and get them to shoot at an illusion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, distraction. Make
Yeah,
them use their magic on that rather than me.
Yeah. I will. I'm guessing these things aren't as tough as that Umber Hulk that we encountered earlier. I could close the distance with them and attack them.
Well, if they're stealing,
Be careful.
stealing spells off our spellcasters,
Yeah,
it would not do you any good if you were to be fireballed or something. I don't know what spells our helmsmen have got.
If they can do a fireball, I would have no defense. Okay.
Yeah, one of them took quite a big chunk out of me, but I'm quite good at taking a punch in the face.
Yeah,
So
I got 10 yards of level on my ring.
Braxon did his patented block with my chin move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really work out when you get hit by like fire. Remember when you got set on fire back at the fort?
Well, it wasn't fire; it was magic missiles.
Yeah. No, he got set on fire while holding a bomb.
if they had cast fireball, since we are in Phlogiston, it would have basically blown right on the side of our ship.
Mm-hmm.
In that fort, Braxon was running around holding a bomb like Batman while also on fire.
Even if they thought that way and didn't want to kill themselves, there might be lightning bolts, which would be useful to them.
So
Braxton's gonna. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was about to say. So I can start with an illusion just to try and get them to waste their spells at something not real, and then you can go in with your levitation or something else.
Okay, Braxton's gonna go in with his extending spear, and
well, mine's
yeah.
So I'm just thinking you're wasting a lot of energy. Just see if my ring works. It's 120 yards. Very few spells reach that far.
So, like, you could like what kind of plan are you thinking of? You've got potential illusion, and you can combine these, of course. Like the illusion to distract it while Lafdul attempts to yank one off, and then regardless of how that works, you could rush in and attack them. I mean,
yeah.
After that, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
No, the illusion to make them use their magic. I'm seeing a potential downside to this, not to dissuade you.
But if they've always got, like, potential downsides.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
If they've taken a, actually, can we figure out what third level spells our helmsmen have?
Well, there's no free lunch, regardless.
Oh sure. Just use your image thing and I'll yank one off. I mean, it's relatively safe.
I know what I'm gonna do.
I mean, you could
I've got
try
the-
that
fish,
first.
at
You could
least.
try that first, and then regroup and discuss it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to remember how many javelins I've got.
Aren't they
Thankfully,
really
Solas and
expensive?
Ockar and Finn are sleeping ignorant, blissfully ignorant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance
Hang
is
on.
bliss.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to try
Insight.
that distraction and then the yank first, and then regroup? If that.
Yeah, just see what happens.
All right. So Lankas and Lafdul, you go to the out onto the hull, trying to keep down and as far away as possible. So you can see these little lumps there. And Lankas, what do you want to create an illusion of?
Yeah, I was about to check where is Phantasmal Force. There it is. I just wanted to see the range. Range is 60 yards plus 10 yards per level, so 80 yards I can be away from it.
You have plenty of space.
Yeah, so I'll probably make a why not an Umber Hulk to try and like go and make it look like it's going to tear at them or something.
Well, I'd suggest a GIF.
Oh, GIF. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Just a crew member.
So like approaching from the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. So these lumps open up, and the soft, fleshy leech comes out, and they're definitely whip-like. How close are you getting the GIF? Are you like going up to actually like act as if it's going to attack?
Yes. So it's probably carrying like a chisel or something to like or to look like it's going to go and rip them out. Attempt to at least.
All right. So you go through the motions of casting your spell, and this GIF appears and starts heading towards it. Now that spell, they're silent, right? The illusions.
They are silent. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Don't think that's going to make much difference for these things. Not exactly.
That is what I was hoping.
Not exactly big on the whole ear thing. All right, so Lafdul, are you going to start yanking right now that they've come out?
There's no way for me to tell what way they're looking.
I mean, if they have eyes, it's not obvious.
Well, I got 120. Yeah, no, I will. I got 120 yards, so I'll just yank them off.
So you try to grasp and yank, but it's not that they're too heavy. It's that they are very, very much embedded in the hull.
Right.
However, it obviously has just felt that attempt, and all of a sudden, a dense cloud of fog wraps the underside of the hull.
Damn.
It's just using up the spells that whoever was on the helm had. Do we know which one of the helmsmen have Wall of Fog? Or Fog Cloud, or whatever spell this seems to be?
No, they don't really tell you what spells they memorize.
Oh, I know one of them had it. Obviously one has it, because it's right in front of me.
So I worked out what I want to do, but whether it works or not, now there's fog. I got those javelins of piercing that you can say a command word to make them attack things.
Aren't they really expensive?
Yeah, they're magic items, but like,
Alright.
why not? It's the thing you can command to attack things.
Yeah.
Well,
If you want to use
the
it,
thing
sure,
though is that
Taylor.
now that there's a dense fog,
Yeah.
you can't see them, so you would not be able to
Right.
actually target them at this point. Either wait until the fog goes away, or you go up in melee.
Yeah, all right.
How long's the fog last? I wonder.
Braxon will leave them then, and he's gonna go up in the fog and try and use the extendable spear to just jab at one of them, while the other three attack him. He's figuring if he can get rid of one, he can then retreat.
You know, I could just send my statue over to them, actually.
Well, he's already said that he's doing that, so Braxon, give me an intelligence check, please.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. So
that means I can't find them.
No, you do. You do. Don't assume what the checks are going to indicate.
Cool. Okay.
So you do, but you are subjected to the attacks by the other ones when you get close.
Yeah.
As you are taking care of them, you do realize that you probably could have approached in such a way that you could deal with one of them at a time because of the dense fog nature.
Yeah.
And none of the others cast any spells on you. And you're able to take care of them. Some injuries, but those can be handled.
Yeah. Plus, Braxton will get some points back from stabbing.
Maybe like 1.
I mean, they're tough and hardy things, and they do whip at you with their, basically with their body tentacle thingies.
Their appendage.
But you give me another intelligence check.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Okay. Okay. So once they're dead and the fog cloud has dissipated, looking at the wood, it's gonna need to be replaced anyway.
Yeah.
Because they've embedded into it and eaten it away and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they've eaten it away to make a thing and like pushed up the veneer off the surface and stuff.
No, actually, they changed their color to match the hull.
Oh, very clever.
Nasty parasites.
But there were only 3, and after that, after you remove the hull boards and begin replacing them, you do realize that they're fairly fresh. So they've only been in there,
so they
3-4 days at most.
We might have got them off the ship.
Probably not. You don't think you picked them up from that point,
right?
But they've only been embedded in the hull for a few days.
Well, that's lucky. So, I mean, basically, that thing with the fog, that might be beneficial for us in the future.
Well, so after that, and discussing with the spellcasters who've been on the helm, Lankas, what spells do you have memorized?
I had just Phantasmal Force and Cantrip.
All right. You discover that when you try to cast the cantrip, it's failed. You thought it was still in your memory. It was gone.
Okay.
So that was drained off. Nemariel had a fog cloud drained off, and Nor had a magic missile drained off.
Right.
You'd realize that if they'd been on longer, they would have had more spells. You caught them quite early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks very much, everyone.
Lucky there.
Finn, Ockar, and Solas wake up for their shift. Like, something happened?
Nah, nothing happened.
They might wake up with a lot of hammering.
If anyone mentions about the jammer leeches, Solas asks, did any one of you harvest their glue?
None of us knew about it.
They have glue?
Ah, pity.
I mean, there might be some.
It's how they attach themselves.
Oh,
Yeah, they
thought they were
glue
like
it.
a
They glue
mollusk or
themselves
something.
on and then dig in.
Now,
I thought
I
The
am
glue is
um,
quite potent.
Right.
going to head to the mess hall and look for some lettuce, tomato, ham, maybe a little mustard. Relax for a bit.
Fresh fruit and veg. That's
Yeah,
optimistic.
unfortunately,
It's all dried.
yeah, hard tack,
Sun-dried
I mean,
tomatoes.
hardtack, salt
Dried
pork,
tomatoes.
cheese, dried fruits, nuts, that kind of thing. That's basically what
You
you're
could have like a cheese and
subsisting on.
pickle sandwich with
Where?
lettuce.
No, you guys have no pickles.
No less.
No pickles. You have no pickles. There's no
That
pickles on the
works.
ship.
Ah,
Pickles don't
Good
exist.
too.
Somebody
If you had gotten any pickles, there would have been a conspiracy by Norn, Mariel, and Sun Fayun to toss them over the side.
somebody needs to find a big American pickle company to sponsor AuldDragon.
You know, if they want to pay me a lot of money to sponsor them, I'm bribable. It's that I'm bribable within certain reasons.
I just love to see you like this. This video is sponsored by pickles.
Oh, I'd
This
rather
video
see
is
the-
sponsored by Vlasic Pickles, my favorite pickles. I love them. Chomp puke.
oh. Side note.
Yes.
I think I'd rather see him get sponsored by a ham company.
Yes, honey baked ham. I would take free honey baked ham as sponsorship. Yes, Lafdul, you had a question?
Because that fog cloud was cast, we have new air.
Yes, that would have done some refreshing for you. But you also have her weighty, so
Yeah, I know it's a moot point, but
Yeah.
before I bring it up anyway.
Every time our air goes below fresh, basically Hurwaiti will refresh it.
I kind of figured that you just had to like once a week do it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that also is option.
Definitely more like rotation.
All right.
Oh dear.
So the overall trip duration will be 36 days.
Sorry, I don't think any of us are doing spell research, so.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I sped things up a bit.
I mean, I want to do it, but I'm trying to train up my apprentice and,
I was
learn
thinking
things for
about doing
myself.
spell research, but then there was the divine duty.
Yeah.
And you see, kind of coming out of the on the 36th of the day, kind of coming through the rainbow mists of the phlogiston, the great black wall ahead of you of a crystal sphere.
Very good.
So
oh, wow.
it takes a number of hours to actually get to it from that point, but once you're close enough to be at the seer wall, basically, is there anything that you guys want to do before you actually enter the crystal sphere?
Yeah,
do.
Solas is going to be casting the detect powers.
Yeah, so will Lafdul, even though he's... Actually, no, I don't, because I know the Elven Pantheon for certain, so...
I'd approach
ju-
one of the
just-
officers and let them know, and basically say, I was hoping to find word of a, I need to look up the name again because I've forgotten the name I gave my grandpa.
That's okay.
This one and do.
So you'd probably be approaching Braxon, the captain.
Okay. Zekel Triggshanks. So if you hear word of that name, let me know.
Well, we'll be visiting a couple of worlds there. You can ask around, see if they've got any leads. It's a big sphere,
That's
though.
the plan.
Do you know?
yeah.
Do you know what celestial body is supposed to be on?
Last I heard, they were on. I really should consolidate these into one place.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
While you're looking that
I
up,
am.
Darrakar, yeah?
I am actually looking at the crystal sphere with a certain awe because as I do not get this journey very often.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast detect powers as well for Tyr.
Okay.
So what?
Yeah, go ahead, Braxon.
Braxon would tell Lankas that we've got a sphere guide for grey space, and he can have a look through it. Belongs to us though, so don't cut anything out or write in it.
But it could be improved so much.
Yeah, you can have a look through there, see if there's places that are likely to have tinker gnomes living on them.
Yeah, it's last I heard they were in he was on Grella.
Grilla.
Oh, Grilla. Yeah, that's where we're going.
Oh, okay.
That's where we're going first. We're going to other place afterwards. But have a look through the guide, see if it's gives you other information. If you want to.
Wait, are
If you can read?
Are you mixing up Grilla and Ginsel, Braxon?
Yeah.
Ginsel is the crescent world that Finn is from.
Yeah, Jinsel's where we're going. Yeah, sorry. Grilla somewhere else. All right, we're going to Jinsel. Yeah.
Okay, so Ockar and Solas, you cast Detect Powers. Finn, coming home, knows that he does not need to, of course. Ockar, there is a deity who will grant spells for you here.
Okay.
Solas, there is not.
Okay.
So you will need to use Contact Home Power.
Good thing I memorized Contact Home Power also. It's like I knew.
Braxon will do some praying before we go in, and everyone will be on shift as usual.
Okay.
And we'll be at battle stations just in case there's pirates when we go into the sphere.
Okay.
I will pray as well.
All right. So you enter the crystal sphere. You find yourself over here. And you would probably want to head down into the astrolabe chamber to you know get a sphere overview.
Yeah.
You can see the planets and things like that, but this is a very big sphere. You're looking at over a month to get to the nearest planet.
Right.
Hey, Solas.
Yes.
Do you think it's worth contacting Lenelius? He could give us like very brief dangers, imminent dangers in the sphere, or
Well, I can contact him, but it's not like he can give me long response.
No.
But I can cast sending and inform him that we are heading to Ginsel and where we are heading after that.
Yeah.
So one thing, like you sent a message on to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would
That
not
should
have
have
reached.
arrived.
It would not have reached him yet.
Oh.
Wherever he is, it would not have reached him yet. So keep in
how?
mind, like you were in the phlogiston for 36 days, setting aside everything else. If you were lined up with the Spectre, it would still be 40 days to get there. So you've got a little ways ahead of you. But so you gather all the officers and Darrakar and Lankas as well into the astrolabe chamber. So you can see basically where the planets are and everything like that. They're displayed. And Lankas, you'd be very fascinated by this because this is clearly some form of illusion magic. And it's displaying all of the planets, above and around you, in this chamber, in this dark chamber. And so you can see the basic layout. So you guys might want to zoom out a little bit to get a feel for where the planets are. Coming into
what's the second what's the second circle? The first one is obviously with the sun and everything. What's the second one?
Right. So there's the outer ring in which every block is 4 days of travel.
Okay.
And then the inner ring is 5 blocks to 1 day. So the smaller ring is the denser interior.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. I get how that works.
Yeah. If they had done if everything was at the outer ring resolution, shall we say, then the Grinder, Liga, Cool, Renee, and
be gigantic.
Oerth would all be just in that center where the sun is. And if everything was at the inner thing, you'd be looking at a chart the size of a room to put all the other planets on. So.
Yep.
This huge asteroid belt on the second sphere, second circle is the Grinder.
Yes, and it is a shell, so it's a spherical asteroid belt, rather than just a belt. Should
we see the dark star on there?
Yeah, so you have enough information to know where it is, and the astrolabe displays size B things. So the Grinder itself in the astrolabe doesn't strictly appear as a shell, but you do see lots and lots and lots of individual objects. So you're able to follow the information that you have and identify which one is the one you want. Incidentally, it is not at the same plane of orbit as everything else. It is elevated in that shell, well above everything else.
But what does the +11 mean?
So that is basically me tracking that it is higher than than the plane.
The ecliptic plane.
Yeah, it is. So it's at an angle. Eventually, it will come down and then go down and then back up again, kind of thing.
Okay, so it also goes in the y-axis.
Yeah. And I'm just doing that it'd be easier than trying to track it another way. And it does allow me to actually move it as well.
It is not in the ecliptic plane.
Right.
I predict we're going to face gigantic round red creatures that look like beach balls.
So fired. So you can see basically where the planets are, and basically begin to, form out your plan for where you want to go.
Well, we took money for taking cargo to Jinsel, so we need to get out of the way fairly quickly.
Also, Ginsel was recommended to us as a stop if we are going to the Dark Star.
Yeah. But it might be worth grazing the atmosphere of Edil to top up air on the way past.
Air is not a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Got the Hoeti for a reason, so.
And access to spells.
That's true.
Air is basically only problem if we are
anti-magic.
In anti-magic or situation where something fouls our air constantly.
Yeah. Today we have cooked food.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking on what you want to do?
Pretty much just go to Jinsel.
Yeah, is Jinso going clockwise or anti-clockwise at the moment?
Everything's going clockwise because I don't have any information on them doing anything else, and that is easier
so
for me to track.
Does the guidebook say that we would anticipate Jinsel moving while we were on the way towards it?
Probably not. Most things
Okay.
in the outer rings take months to move one block.
And if it did, we have the astrolabe that we are most likely checking every now and then when we are on the system.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, Ald. You'd said before that I could fly through the square, which isn't a square, where the sun was on another crystal sphere.
Yeah.
Can I fly the ship through this one, sort of like going over the top of the grinder to get to the other side, and spend 4 days going over there, or do I need to, like go around the outside ones instead?
Well, it really wouldn't be any different. So, like, if you're going from 5 to 1,
Yeah.
it's 1 block either way in between.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, fair enough.
Only situation where it might matter is if we were coming through 4 to 1.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just a matter of working out how much time, because I didn't catch how much time we spent in the Phlogiston.
36 days.
36 days. Okay.
Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, but I have mentioned it on previous sessions that Solas would top off our water supply with the fish.
Yeah.
It's 60 gallons per day.
I think that's enough for 60 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there are a number of ports. Do you want to consult the guidebook about any particular planets, or do you want me to just like give you the read it off now, or what?
Yeah, we could do, but we're pretty much going to go to Chinsel first because we took a cargo, and the sooner we get rid of that, the better.
Also, we don't have any necessary need for the stops.
Okay.
Well, one of our passengers wants to go to Greela.
Eventually, I'm fine. You saved me, so I'm fine helping out, paying my due for a bit.
And we can always go Greela when we head back.
We can, yeah.
Or at some point.
Yeah.
So what, is he just missing your grandfather, or is he just...
Well, I've already spent 20 years looking for him. This is just the first place I've heard a whisper of him.
Oh.
Or like the latest rumor or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Greela's not sort of on the way to Jinsel, but it's like if we diverted to Greela. We've got alcohol, haven't we? So it wouldn't really go bad.
But it is a risk if the ship is damaged.
Yeah.
I need to make it clear. I need to inform him of his wife's death and deliver her final letter to him.
Oh. Condolences for your loss of your grandmother, I assume?
It was a while ago, but yes, we were close. Thank you.
Did she... This might sound a bit... Wow, I don't think it's callous, but did you have a keepsake of it? Because we have like this amazing tracking device that allows us to track down individuals if we have something of their possession.
Because of the nature of this, I think I'm going to say that no, he doesn't. Lankas does not have anything that's going to.
Oh.
If he's been missing for decades, I think the item, the magic
The
item
ownership's
think that
strange.
ownership has.
Technically, I do, but yes, it technically hasn't belonged to him for a while, so I'm not sure it would count.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fun.
I guess the problem here is we don't know if Ald's turned this into a follow-up adventure, which would take ages to do, or if it would just be a matter of going there and handing out a piece of paper and then getting back in the ship.
There's also the
So,
possibility that I haven't decided which way it's going to go yet.
Yeah.
That's also my thought.
That's
that's
what I'm voting for.
We can certainly look into this on the way while we do other things.
We are paying a small fortune for our company at the moment. You can see they're quite armed.
Basically, if we flew to Grilla on the way in, it would extend the journey.
It'd still be like a month out of the way.
It'd extend the journey a bit. And if we don't do that, it would be a thing of go visit Grilla on the way out.
Except on the way out, I did say that we should visit Tirspace next. And that's most likely in other direction than Grilla, so
No. Don't. Because of the nature of the phlogiston and like the the phlogiston chart is conceptual as opposed to physical.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you leave, isn't it? Or
well, I mean, you want to leave by a close
a known
a portal, but if you want to swing by Grilla, I'm not going to make it go like hugely out of your way.
Okay. Then going to Grilla when we are heading out is not a bad idea.
All right.
No, we're not under time pressure then either. Well, we are because we got mercenaries, but
I mean, you're not hugely under a time pressure for your cargo delivery either. I mean, there's the element of potential damage and things like that, but if you wanted to, try to visit someplace else first or something like that, I mean, you do have the option.
I think
Solas
the idea
is fine. Solas is fine with heading to Grilla before or after.
Oh, before we go anywhere, I wanted to ask Solas, or Lafdul, if one of you could cast Commune?
Well, I was
because I wanted to ask about this whole Lady Bethia thing. The Stellar Dragonfell is about trying to figure out if she's even in Gray Space, but Commune.
Well, I was planning on casting Commune for Darrakar's question, so I think I can add that into the question.
Okay.
Do you think if your deity doesn't have access? I'm not trying to dissuade you because if yours fails, so I can do mine after.
Commune creates the access.
Yeah, no, it was whether or not your deity knows what's going on in this sphere. I mean, it's a deity, who knows, but...
Okay.
I was planning on casting the Commune anyway, so...
no, try yours first, so...
I've had a thought on Grilla versus Jinsul. The reason we were going for Jinsul is because we believe that we will get leads and information or help for Ockar. So
we were going there so Finn could see his mom.
Also, Finn can visit his family, and we have consignment to Ginza.
That as well. Yeah. If you've got that information, Ald, is there anything on Grilla that's likely to be of use to Ockar?
Well, so the Spectre and Grilla and the Grinder and Ginsul all have
sorry about that.
That's okay. All have settlements that you could go to and ask about things.
Yeah.
So like those are big stop off points, all of them. Of course, Oerth as well, but I would prefer to avoid Oerth just because
Yeah.
it's easier for me to not have to deal with another planet that is as detailed as that. Edel, Konatha, and Borka, Cool, and Renai don't really have much in the way of, and Gnibble. None of them really have anything in the way of things there. So basically it'll boil down to what you want. If you want information about the Dark Star, a major port in the Grinder is going to be your best bet because that is the closest. They're the ones who deal with other stuff in the Grinder the most.
Right.
If you want general gray space information, then basically any of those that I mentioned are going to be fine.
I mean, going to more ports will also allow us to ask more questions about the whole pirate activity increase or the strange ships sightings.
If those are even happening here in Gray Space.
I think something was happening.
That's definitely something Darrakar would be interested in. He fights pirates on principle.
We know those stolen things that we found before came from here, so there was stuff going on here.
Yeah, Lafdul would have heard from his brother that there does appear to be increased goblinoid activity here in Gray Space. Whether that's just piracy or whether it's something else, they don't know. But Borka is being like extra patrols have been sent to Borka.
Yeah, so if we do make extra stops before going to Ginsel, that allows us to have more information potentially.
Yeah.
And also look for spell ingredients and such.
All right. I propose that we ignore Spectre for now. Go to Greela. If you can find your uncle and get a letter to him straight away, that's cool. Otherwise, we'll move on fairly rapidly to Ginsel. We can maybe pop there on the way back.
Well, I mean, you can also have a week to discuss it. I mean, we're not at the end of the session, but we're close to it, and I can read off the material that I have for the guidebook that might help you make some decisions.
Also, if we do stop in Greela, might as well check the Borka situation.
Yeah, we can do, I guess. It's close enough.
So do you want me to give you the guidebook information?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with the Spectre. So the guidebook says, visitors to this flat world are advised to dress warmly, for it only rarely gets above freezing. Often the first port of call for Outsphere visitors, and the last port of call for those leaving the sphere. Expect to pay a premium for fresh supplies. Many ports are available to the discerning visitor on either side of the planet, although some visitors are advised to avoid a few. On the so-called north face of the Spectre are ports run by the trading concerns Free Trade Group, Lacrosse Brothers, and Anything Incorporated. Avoid the Elven Imperial Navy outpost of Tranmiel unless permission to visit has already been acquired. A dwarven mining outpost known as Cardle's Anvil is located in the central mountains, but like the elves, they refuse open access to their facilities. Recent news indicates that the Gnomish port has undergone a name change after some recent events, and is now known as What Is Left After the Tragic Events of Several Years Ago. Finally,
wait, what?
Yeah, what is left after the tragic events of several years ago?
Oh my god, well...
How descriptive.
Yeah. Finally, the Illithid port on the south face, Skulls in a Row, is open to all traders as well. Be warned,
Skulls in a row.
3 Beholder hives are also located on the south face, which luckily occupy their time attacking each other. Rumors also claim that there is a hidden Nyogi port as well as a pirate base on the south face as well. So that's what you would find at the Spectre. The description of Grilla is, this collection of planetoids is a pleasant stop-off point, and many of the worldlets offer ample food, water, and lumber for ships in need. Be warned that the more heavily inhabited planetoids do not take kindly to such activity, seeing it as theft. It is recommended to put in at a port if visitors see settlements on such a world. A number of nations call Grilla home, many of which offer varying sets of services to spelljamming visitors. The most accessible nation is the human realm of Frontier, which has a number of ports across multiple worldlets. The largest and most fully featured port of Frontier is the capital Bonanza, but also available are Big Valley for land-based ships only, Maverick for water-based ships only, and Briscoe, which has facilities for multiple ship types. Each of these secondary ports has fewer resources than Bonanza, but are often cheaper to make port at. As a DM side note, I discovered it is incredibly expensive to land at Bonanza. Be warned that these towns tend to be rough and tumble locales, often with wildly different legal codes, even compared to a previous visit. The elven nation of Senaltarian has few settlements, but they do host one port named Senbriadene that is open to elven vessels and crews. Others must obtain permission and operate under high security due to nearby shipyards. Visitors are advised to operate with caution. Multiple gnomish air towns float among the asteroids of Grilla, and are not difficult to find, but their names and features change as often as a visitor can reasonably put into one of them. Finally, the giantish nation of Naktaract has their formal facilities in the town of Dunkor, but many other towns and villages have makeshift facilities as well. So that's Grilla. The guidebook does not list any of the gnomish settlements, for the reasons given that oftentimes the names will change. And you may land at one, do your business, come back weeks later, see what you think is another port put in, and discover that it is in fact the same one. They've just remodeled everything. The guidebook says about Borka, this shattered world is a result of great and terrible magics released during the Unhuman War, ending the goblinoid threat to gray space. Those who survived have set up a pitiable village named Potemkiz that offers little in the way of supplies and can ill afford to purchase any goods offered to them, but it is a reasonably safe place to land. These humanoids have lost their former warlike spirit and just try to eke out a living. Potemkiz is located near the edge of the Borka cluster, making landing easy. Visitors are advised to avoid the rest of the world due to the erratic nature of the planetoids, making any travel very dangerous. Many ships have been reported lost. In addition, the Elven Imperial Navy maintains patrols to ensure no helms are traded to any other goblinoids who may still survive on other rocks. Ginsel is described as a beautiful green crescent world with many diverse nations and ports of call. The interior face is called the Bight by the residents, and the edge between the two surfaces is called the Brink. Visitors are advised to avoid the Brink as it features heavy storm and wind activity, making travel dangerous. Of the ports on Ginsel, Tarvin, the capital of the Kingdom of Yendoril, and located on the inner surface, is the most frequented and has the best facilities. Other popular ports include Gord City, the capital of Gord, on the outer surface on the equatorial coast of the large sea there, and Kostapen, capital of the nation of the same name, on the inner surface near the northwestern edge of the Brink. Again, as a side note, that is where Finn is from. Both cities feature full services for spacefarers. The capitals of the other nations, such as Bria, Giant Rust, Laresian, Prola, Vasta, and Zin, all have ports of some degree, but rarely offer as many services as the others. Still, they can be fine stop-off points for supplies or for merchants looking for deals others may have missed. Be forewarned, however, the merchants of Ginsel are reputed to get the better end of a deal far more often than not. It also should be known that the many forests, mountains, and wildlands of the Brink are known to be inhabited by monsters, so visitors to those regions should take caution. The settled lands are well patrolled and relatively safe from those dangers. Finally, political intrigue between nations, rather than outright warfare, is the rule of the day, so visitors should be careful not to become entangled in such things. A number of the other planets are much less detailed because they do not offer as many resources, so I'll go through those pretty quick. Kanatha, this oblong, salty water world offers little for visitors except fresh air. The surface is said to be crisscrossed with invisible currents that can damage vessels landing thereon, while there are known to be a great number of dangerous aquatic life forms just beneath the surface. Fishing for food is possible, but any captains taking their ships down should be prepared for an attack from the sea. If there is any friendly life within the world that would be open to trade, they are not known. No islands or ports can be found on the surface. And Gnibile, this angry red planet is an air world filled with dangerous storm clouds and caustic rains. Rumors that the dead of past failed exploratory trips haunt the world cause those who would brave the natural disasters to steer clear. Advice is to avoid the world entirely. Edel. Unlike Gnibile, this air world features placid skies and fluffy clouds, and is very friendly to a ship captain desperate to refresh their air. Various bodies of rock, fire, and water circle through the air of this world, some at high speeds and others at near snail pace. The inhabitants of this world are primarily dragons, so visitors are warned to be careful. Luckily, the majority of the dragons are social and friendly, with hides like various metals, although there are some particularly dangerous dragons of a red hue. There are also Aarakocra on the world, but they are reported to have little interest in trade at this point. The easiest location to land on Edel is known as Skyhaven, a large rocky island with many dragons living on it. They charge no fees for landing, asking only for news and information in exchange. Those landing are advised to take no more than necessary in terms of water or lumber or food. The dragons dislike greed and associate it with the destructive red dragons who make the world their home as well. Further, it is reported that hunting the wyverns of the world also brings the wrath of the dragons upon any ship engaging in such actions. So you know what you need to do, right?
Fight the wyverns.
Right. So that I can get some metallic dragons to attack you.
Try to hunt the elusive. Try to hunt the elusive green Lego dragon.
No, there's no hunting Lego dragons.
I'm pretty sure that's just a TPK.
The Grinder. This massive, dense asteroid field may be unique among all the spheres, as it forms a spherical shell between the outer and inner worlds of the sphere. The density of the shell can make it difficult and dangerous to navigate, so many travelers offload cargo on one of the outer asteroid ports, which are then handled by cargo vessels more familiar with the nature of the asteroid shell. It can take up to a full day to traverse the field safely. Besides the known port cities of the asteroid shell, there are many dwarven mining colonies, farming asteroids, and gnomish colonies that local shipping has been known to visit. And there are known to be a number of Illithid, Beholder, Neogi, and pirate outposts that threaten travelers. Luckily, the nature of the planetoid orbits in the Grinder means that they are often quite distant from the shipping lanes. Monsters and undead are also said to be somewhat common among the rocks of the shell as well. The most significant port is known as Ceres, located on an oblong rock roughly kidney-shaped that orbits along the outer edge of the Grinder, and roughly on the same plane as the other worlds in the sphere, making it easy to access. Kadaza is the center of dwarven mining in the shell, and as such has a strong market for the raw materials and finished goods they produce. A lizardman colony known as Lashtzik has a minor port as well, mostly just for necessities, however. The most significant Tinker Gnomish colony is currently known as It's Not My Job to Name It, apparently derived from when an early visitor asked one of the hired gift guards about the name, and it just stuck. Finally, the Illithids have an open port named Skullbringer, but due to the recent settlement of this asteroid, the authors of this guide have no solid information at this time. Liga is the blazingly bright sun, and like most fire worlds, no known resources can be found here without powerful magic. Rene, this beautiful world, is filled with flora and fauna, but no ports. Rumors of one settlement in high mountains have not been verified, as have rumors of major pirate bases. Despite the beauty of the world, a great many monsters are found here, making it dangerous to visit. For those brave enough, ample food and water can be found, as well as lumber. Cool. This void world has ruins of ancient cities on the surface, but no air to explore them. Air, water, and food are impossible to obtain from the wilderness, and neither are there any known ports. Rumors indicate that there are subterranean races on the world, and some of the caves and other depressions have air and access to the world's Underdark.
That sounds like a very cool place to me.
I mean, there's no air to warm everything up.
Don't you need like an ancient mud brick from like an ancient city or something? I wonder if that
Millennia
could
old mud
facilitate.
brick.
Yeah, could be a possibility though.
If they had mud bricks.
And finally, Aworth. This world, the center of the sphere both physically and socially, is filled with diverse nations and peoples. Most significant ports are the free city of Greyhawk, near the center of the eastern part of the major continent. Other ports are the city of Divers and the city of Irongate, and then it goes on from there to things that are not very important to you right now. So that's the overview of the sphere. If anything jumps out at you as a place that you would like to go, like that you feel would be good for information, if that changes your desires on travel or anything like that. Any questions?
Did it mention anything specifically about like the Dark Star in it, or just like the
No.
grinder in general?
No, that would like what you already know about that is that it is it is not exactly well known. It would be more of a, you get to a place and ask about it, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's dangerous, people don't go there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So some known threats would be detailed in the guide, but in general it'd be like more about telling you the safe places to go as opposed to what the dangerous places are.
Yeah, and we already asked the guy that sold us a guide, and
right.
He said no one on Brown Space knows pretty much.
So you think you guys still leaning towards going to Ginsel, or do you want to go to Grilla first?
Well, we're going to Ginsel, but like I don't think it would hurt to go to Grilla on the way there. It would extend the voyage a bit. But we could possibly learn information. But like Ald said, we're most likely to find out about the Dark Star in the grinder itself, because that's where it's found. But it's like, what else do people want from coming to Grey Space?
The place we need to go on Grilla is
could help with research. So yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Lankas?
I was about to say the place we need to go in Grilla is the Airtown of Successful Aerostatic Colony Mark II.
And its name might have changed.
And its name might have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, the guidebook would not have listed out the names of the gnomish colonies because of that, and they also move around a lot. So it's more it would have kind of indicated that basically the same stuff is available at all of them. So it's like if you encounter one and you want to buy or sell to Tinker Gnomes, you just go to that one and not worry about it, kind of thing.
Well, it's pretty much do we go straight to Ginsel, or do we go to other places where we might pick up useful things before the fight?
Solas is okay with either one, so I would basically abstain.
Oh, you're abstaining?
Since I'm fine with either one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Either one. I'm the same Solas.
I'd be fine with Grilla before or after.
Well, I already said I'd be up for going straight for Ginsel.
Finn, how do you feel?
Well, Finn is looking forward to stopping home, but if we make a stop on the way there, he won't mind.
What? That's sort of like one each.
One each and
It's
lots
like-
of abstentions.
It's
Yeah,
like
lots of
most of the
percentage.
party is fine with either one.
It still mean, but you still got to choose one.
Yeah, if you're
Well,
abstaining, then you're not getting a vote.
Well, I'm in favor of going to, I think it was Grilla, you said first?
Yeah, Grilla is over here. And let me know if any of these worlds do not have names. They should all be showing up, but I might have missed.
I can see the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Basically, we have.
Go ahead.
Basically, for the new people, we have to go to Jinsel. We've got a cargo for Jinsel. We don't have to go to Grilla. And we don't have to go to the Spectre. So it would be, is there anything on Grilla or the Spectre that can help us in the fight? Like if people want to look for potions and stuff, we might be able to go to 3 places and say, have you got magic potions? Have you got this? Have you got that? Yeah. If we skip that, then that's fine.
They would have current event information as well, or relatively current.
On the sphere, yeah. So if anyone wants us to be able to get intel on pirates, we could stop off at the Spectre or Grilla before going to Jinsel.
I think the better bet is the Grill. Since the guide did say that Spectre is quite expensive place.
Yeah, if it's expensive, we probably.
I'll just go to Grilla. So I'm
All right.
favouring that one now.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to push the party in a direction, and if I had to choose out of the two, so.
Okay. So
Yeah.
sounds like Grilla is going to be the destination then.
Yep.
Did any of those ports? I mean, obviously, Lankas wants to go to. He has a specific Tinker Gnome town that he wants to try to find. Do any of those ports sound like ones that you would want to go to as your main port to try to get information and stuff like that?
So they had an elf.
The largest and welcoming port.
Braxon, what you were asking?
They had an elven port there, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we've got a letter of introduction. I think Braxon would want to go there, speak to someone, show them the letter of introduction, and say, we've worked with the Elven Navy in the past, and we wish to assist if we can do. And he would probably take Lafdul if Lafdul wanted to go or was willing.
No, yeah, I definitely do.
And
I mean, like some of this can wait until like you actually get there. I don't necessarily need all the details, but going to the Elven port to ask them about Elven stuff and show the
just to see if we
kind
can
of what I was looking for.
See if we can fish for information, basically.
Okay, so that can be the good starting point. And if you either encounter a gnomish town beforehand, or after that, you can search for gnomish town. Okay, that sounds good. All right, so let's go ahead and do some experience points.
Somebody might be leveling up, and it's not going to be me.
Laughter was leveling up for a long time.
I like to hear that. All right, let me calculate out something.
Yeah, it's going to take a while until I level up again.
You just leveled up.
Yeah, that's why it's going to take a while.
He's honest.
That's true. All right. So that is going to be. And Okay. All right. For Braxon, Ockar, and Darrakar, that is going to be 911 experience points.
911. Thank you.
And for Finn, Lafdul, Solas, and Lankas, 831.
Question. So I split that between my two classes, right?
Yes. Do you have a 10% bonus to each?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing
so
for
it's
my cleric.
It's divided in half, and each goes to those.
His Imagemaker was quite useful. He should get XP for that.
Yeah. So your wizard will get an extra 50 experience points for the spell that you cast.
Okay. It's 831 divided by 2.
It's up to
you
you
can
if you
either
want to
keep
do
track
that.
of the fraction or you can drop it.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't, but that's because I have one that has 10% and the other one that does.
I would personally not, but that's me.
I can't be bothered.
I do keep track of the fraction just to help my math skills.
And you said an extra 50 for the Illusionist?
Yes. And that is not divided.
Did the two learn the read yet?
The two humans?
Yeah.
It is going to take a lot more than a month to actually teach them to truly read.
Okay. And that is what Solas is focusing, foregoing spell research to do his divine duty.
Okay.
Grilla, is there any farming asteroids there?
So the human nation is multiple worlds, and of course, like they've got farming. The guidebook would indicate that their main export is mineral wealth. But all of the worlds of Grilla are like covered in rolling hills and grass and trees and stuff like that. So yeah, there's farming on with the exception of the elf nation.
So we could go there and see if there's anyone that is good resettlement.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to drop them off, the human nation there is going to be your like a perfect place for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I missed it. Did Ingritha get any XP?
Oh yeah, sorry, I did not. You did not miss it because I did not do that. Give me a second. 455.
What I was going to say is Braxon would basically go with them and like have a chat with someone and then say to them, what do you think? Do you want to stay here or do you want to come with us further in?
Yeah, so basically what I'd say is like decide which of the ports you want to go to. You could ask around at the elf port and see what you want.
Yeah, obviously the elves won't want them.
Well, and they're going to want to be
bring your
they're going to want
full mania.
Castaways.
They're going to be they're going to want to go to human.
Yeah,
anyway,
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be worse than slavery, being amongst the elves.
No, it would definitely not.
Well, I mean, it depends if you like the. I mean, they're nice people, but they can rub you off the wrong way.
Some people really don't like elves.
All right.
I think elves are all right, apart from that Lafdul guy.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Only Lafdul.
Yeah, only Lafdul. Numerial is great.
Well, keeps throwing dead seagulls at me.
All right. So when we come back next time, you will be heading towards Grilla. So I want to thank everyone. I'm assuming no one went up a level from the XP.
Nah.
Checking, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Even you guys, I don't expect
Oh.
that much to bring you up.
As you can see from my post, I still need about 80,000 for my cleric.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But when we come back next time, the party will be heading to Grilla. So I want to thank everyone for playing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Really do appreciate it. And welcome to the new players. And we will be back next week. See you then, everyone.
See you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the game. See you soon. Welcome
See you
aboard.
next time. Thanks for the game.